Hi, I'm Amy. Welcome to the video. In today's video, we are going to be creating this eye look with the new RawBeautyKristi and PUR Cosmetics palette. I say new because it's brand new to me. I know a lot of people are just now getting their shipments from the restock, but this did come out a few months ago. There was a whole fiasco. I'm sure you know about it. If you don't, I'm not a drama channel, so I'm not here to tell you about it. You can look that up on your own. But I finally got my hands on my palette and I wanted to recreate Kristi's go-to look using the neutral side. There is also a colorful side. If you are not familiar, it opens up both ways like that. It's a really interesting little palette. And today, to really represent Kristi, I am wearing this, like, I think they call it horseradish, kind of like a grungy chartreuse colored sweater. She wore this exact sweater all of her fall last year. Here are examples of videos of her wearing it, and it is a super comfy sweater from American Eagle. I don't know if they have it this year because I did buy it last year, but if they do, I will link it down below. Anyways, I'm gonna stop blabbing. If you want to see how I created this look using Kristi's palette, as well as my thoughts and some swatches and comparisons to other palettes, then just keep watching. I'm just gonna prime my eyes with the Uoma Beauty Stay Woke concealer. In Kristi's video, she said to prime the eyes, but then she also just used concealer, so I'm just gonna use concealer. In her video, she also said to set the concealer with like just a loose powder, but I'm gonna go ahead and just use the color here, My Whole Heart, to set down the concealer since it is pretty close to my skin tone. I'm using my NYX number 16. I think in her video she only used one big fluffy brush, so I'm probably gonna go along that route. All right, and next she took copper boxes in her outer corner and brought it all the way through her crease. And she built this one up for quite a bit. I don't know if it's because she was talking or because that's what she wanted to do to get it to where she wants. So I am going to build it up a couple times, because this color is quite dark for me. So I feel like it could be quite dark for me. So I'm going to do like a couple thin layers to build it up. There's not much fallout, even though there is kick up in the pan. That's about where I'm gonna go with it. I feel like it blended in very well for being such a dark color for me. I feel like usually I would go in with something lighter as a transition before I would go in with this. I feel like it blended in nicely. It's got some pretty good payoff. You know, this could be a good one and done shade. I feel like almost anything, especially in this neutral side, would be a good one and done shade. All right, next side. Doing a mix of windshield wiper and small circles, in case you were curious. I feel like that's quite even. Next, she took the shade Camelot, which is the like golden mustard kind of shade, and she put that in the inner corner region, and then kind of out here above the crease, kind of acts as her like transition after transition, you know? Kind of make it lean more like a honey bee, honeycomb kind of vibe is what it makes me think of. Pretty even. That was pretty easy. It packs a punch. Like, it's quite pigmented as far as like it's very yellow instead of just blending out to be nothing. And I really like it. And then she took the shade B, which is the bottom one in that corner, and she put that on her outer corner. That one has more depth for sure. So I tapped it on to get the most pigment here in the outer corner, and then I'm lightly brushing it inwards into that other shade and into my crease a little bit. I think it's really pretty. It really, really deepens up that outer corner, which I feel like a lot of times the deeper brown doesn't. Once you start blending it, it goes away kind of. So that's really nice. It actually keeps the depth. Just make sure I came up and over on the same amount. I think I got a little deeper here. So, do I look like Kristi yet? Okay. Next, she did the lower lash line, but I'm gonna wait until my face makeup is done. And then after that, she put Golden Ticket on like the first half of her eye, and that is this shade right here. And I'm gonna just use my finger like she did. And she just tapped it over her eye instead of giving it a full swipe, full pigment situation. So I'm just gonna do the same. Ooh. And you know how I am, so I'm going kind of high into my crease. I'm not sure if she did that, since she's more of a cut crease lady. It's so pretty. Okay, I'm just going through the crease with nothing new on my brush. All right, so that is it for the upper lash lines. I'm gonna go off camera, finish my face, and we'll come back to finish off the eyes. Okay guys, the rest of my makeup is on, and I'm just gonna finish up the lower lash line really quick. She used Golden Boxes and Camelot on the lower lash line, and I am still just using the same brush. And she blows her lower lash line out quite a bit, so I'm gonna like be looking down. Sorry, this is gonna be not the best view. Oh my goodness, this is too big for my lower lash line. I'm gonna do it again though. Oh my god, what if I do this? Does this look weird or what? So I'm going pretty far down and then up under this darker color. I think I went a bit too far down in the inner corner, so I'm going to try to go a little lower on the outer, you know, in full Kristi fashion. Really blow that out. Look at that! Kristi, how do you do it? Oh my goodness, Kristi. I can't. And you can see I'm blending back up in to the rest as well. Okay, I'm gonna take, I don't have, oh yeah, okay. I'm gonna take a little powder brush and just kind of go around the edges to make sure it's kind of more of a clean look. Okay, that works for me. It is still lower than I normally go, but you know, we're doing it Kristi's way today. And then she used a brown liner in her waterline, so I am going to use the Maybelline Smooth Walnut. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of a smaller brush to kind of blend where the eyeliner got into my lashes so that it doesn't look as unfinished. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of Copper Boxes to do so. Okay, now she put on lashes. I am not gonna do that. But I am gonna use my Pat McGrath Dark Star mascara. And I don't know what she did for the inner corner. I'm gonna just go ahead and take Golden Ticket into my inner corner on my Sigma she may not, she probably did this, right? Or her highlighter. Why did I not write that down? I literally made notes. I watched it and made notes. Anyways, maybe she didn't do anything in her inner corner. Maybe she wasn't feeling that, but I am. So I'm just gonna brighten that up. Super cute. I like that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put on my mascara and I will be right back. All right, guys, this is my finished recreation of Kristi's eye look. In that video, her go-to look using her palette with PUR. So let's talk about the palette a little bit. Obviously, it was a huge success. And, you know, the first launch was a little crazy, the second launch was a little crazy, and now they're working on a third launch. I assume it'll be pretty crazy. I know that I think at this point you can no longer purchase this palette, but based on how crazy the launches were, I assume a lot of people got their hands on it. So if you are interested in seeing me do like a 3 looks 1 palette or something like that using this, then let me know down below. But overall, from what I've used, and this will be my 3rd time using this palette. So I've done this look here, and then I think I have a picture. I did this look where I used a few of the mattes from the neutral side and then put a Pat McGrath shimmer on it. And then I have, when I very first got this, I just put every single matte on one eye and every single one of the colorful shades on one eye. I did not create like a look or anything wearable. I just kind of wanted to see like how the formulas were and what the colors looked like. And from what I've used of it, I really like both sides. I obviously wouldn't use it the way that I did that day. And I love this eye look. It is a very good everyday look, especially for fall with that like mustardy color in there. Love it. But I'm gonna go ahead and give you some swatches. I know that everybody and their mother has done swatches of this, so I'm sure you'd be able to find them somewhere. But you know, if you haven't, then I want to just give you some, okay? So I'm gonna do it on the back of my hand actually. I'm just gonna swatch them and then I'll show you. They are very soft. There is kick up, but as you saw on the application, I didn't get any fallout from the shades that I used here. And I want to say when I used the colorful side, I did get some fallout from the darker shades, the like blue and the purple, but nothing crazy. Like Kristi said, just, you know, do your eyes first. I mean, that's what she does. So of course she would make a palette that kind of fits to that. It makes sense. Okay, so these are the shades here, and these are the shades here on my hand. So I do think they are pretty true to how they look in the palette. I would say the Mood Point on me looks a little bit darker, but it does have a black background here and a white background here. But otherwise, they all look quite true to what I thought they would look like, and they look really good. I mean, they're very pigmented. They aren't what I would call creamy though. They're more along the lines of like an ABH formula where it's like powdery and there is pigment there and they blend very well, but it's not like creamy like Pat McGrath or Natasha Denona. So I would put it along the lines of like an ABH formula. I'm gonna do the colorful side, which these colors are so colorful. It would have been fun to have these in the warmer months, but you know, I have it now. That's all that matters. This Garden State shade is so unique of a like teal green color. These ones are even a bit more powdery, which I would expect colorful shades to be, because if you want the pigment, you gotta have the powder, you know, because if they are too hard pressed, you're not gonna get any pigment. That hot pink, like, are you kidding? That's like neon. So most of these colors are like what I would consider like on this colorful side, all of these colors are like a saturated color, but that pink one looks quite like neon. So here is colors. Look at that Cafe Disco in the middle. That color is so beautiful. I'm sorry, the yellow swatch is like over a brown swatch, so let me swatch it. That's Dandelion. I'm gonna swatch it down here next to the white so that it's not mixed in. Like, as you can see, there's like a brown underneath it. So there's that. So again, those are the swatches. I really, really like it. I know some people had issues with the formula, but I just really didn't. And I love Pat McGrath, and I do think her formula is like above and beyond, but also it's 2.5 times as much as this palette was. So I'm not going to compare it to that, but I would compare it to like an ABH shadow. And as for the blending and everything, I do think it is completely on par with those palettes. Another thing I wanted to do while we're here is I wanted to swatch some of the shades next to the shades in the Gemini palette, the Melt Gemini palette, because I know last fall Kristi loved this palette, and I do think maybe some of these shades are kind of reminiscent of those shades she put into her palette. So I'm thinking these colors right here. I can't point, but I think you see what I'm seeing. So I'm gonna swatch. I'm gonna use this hand because there's nothing on this hand. I'm gonna swatch Kristi's 3 shades, Camelot, Copper Boxes, B. I'm gonna just swatch all the browns too because maybe they match a different brown. Told You, and You're Not My Real Dad. Okay, so those are Kristi's right there. And then Luna, this is from the Melt palette. Lorelei, Polka Dot. And I haven't seen anybody make this comparison yet, which I think is really weird because if you love RawBeautyKristi and you watch her every video, then you, I think, would have drawn this conclusion. Tell me if I'm crazy. And then the last one, Cupcake. So I think I messed it up by swatching Luna, but if you skip this first shade, I think 1, 2, 3 are really reminiscent of 1, 2, 3 here. Yeah. So I'm going to put my hand here and then I will draw the lines connecting the ones that I think are kind of dupey. So again, these are Kristi's shades down here and these are Melt's shades up here. I do think Kristi's have a lot more of a richness and vibrancy to the colors. They are more mustard, more rusty, more warm than the Melt shades, but I think that's where Kristi drew her inspiration. Tell me if you agree. So like I said about this palette, I really enjoyed it, and I do think a lot of people probably got their hands on it. So if you would like to see more videos using this palette and doing multiple looks with it, then let me know down below. Did you get your hands on it? Do you want to see more? And that's everything that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!